Hello and welcome to episode 20 of this.
This is episode 20 already.
Yeah.
It feels like that should both be less and more at the same time.
I mean, it kind of should be more.
I mean, you know, shit happens.
Yeah.
Life happens. And it be like that sometimes.
It do be like that sometimes.
So we're kind of directionless on this one. We don't really know what to talk about. And I'm yawning because I'm old and I'm tired.
It's been a long day.
Yeah.
We walked today, like,
Wild.
2 blocks.
Absolutely, like, way too much. So exhausting.
In the wind and the rain.
Literally.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah. We weren't barefoot, though. But you were holding a puppy.
Yeah. And wearing sandals. I would be barefoot. I like being barefoot. I hate shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes are stupid.
Well, we did get some good news today. Update on the puppy is that he is learning to speak with the buttons.
Yeah.
Or so
I
we
don't know
think.
if we talked about it on the last one. I can't remember. But we decided to get buttons to try to teach him to use words like Stella and Bunny. What's the cat's name? Have you seen the cat? I think it's like Philip or something.
I have seen the cat, but I don't know its name.
Yeah. He doesn't use as many words.
But he curses, and I think it's really
Yeah.
funny.
I just keep seeing the one video that like circulates where he's just like,
Fuck
he says
you.
he's hungry, and they're like, "No, you already had your dinner, or it's not dinner time, or whatever." Beetle, put you on your stick. Okay.
And Flop.
But yeah, where he's like, "I'm hungry," and they're like, "No, you can't eat right now." So he's like, or they're like, "What do you want instead? You can't have food," and he's just like, "Catnip, catnip, catnip."
Can't
And then
have
people
food, I want to
comment
get
on it
high.
just being like, "I'm hungry. You can't have food. Then give me drugs." Beetle.
But we got the buttons, and, well, Sasha bought the buttons, and recorded some sayings. We've got 4 right now, and the words are hungry, snack, outside, and what else? There's another button, but we don't know what it is. Mystery button. Beetle, don't. He's on the power strip.
Stop.
Feral.
You're being naughty. Come get your stick.
If you hear jingling in the background,
We had
it's
to put
Beetle.
bells on him because
He's so quiet,
He was
and
too
then he's
sneaky.
just gone. So today, while I was puppy sitting,
the other button is play. We just
Play.
don't use it because
Yeah.
I don't know how. I just need to change it.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
we keep kind of experimenting with different words, and
Yeah. Some words like don't record on the buttons well.
yeah,
Like, because I kept trying to put food on there, but it was
And it
not
was just
enunciating, so it was like foo.
yeah.
And what was the other one we were trying, and I had to change it?
You're asking me to remember something that happened like 2 days ago, and no, I've got
I don't
nothing.
remember. I also tried to have one say beetle, but it didn't sound right. You probably can't hear it on here, but somebody outside is just howling.
They're having a bad time. But while I was puppy sitting today, I was just, idly sitting on the couch, and he went in the entryway, and all I heard was the button clicking, and I was like, oh my god! I was so excited.
And then he hasn't done it since, so now we're like,
was that a fluke, or is he
Like-
learning?
yeah, did he figure it out? Or did he like accidentally sit on the button or something?
He did go outside and pee, like, right away, though. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm hoping for it.
Right.
We did, before we came in here, he went over to the door and was, like, scratching around the buttons. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's, like, learned which one's which, and...
Bella, are you a hot dog?
Bella
Deal.
is panting.
Ooh.
Is that dog okay?
Right? I don't even recognize that dog.
I don't. It doesn't sound like Julie is too far away.
Yeah, no.
Our neighbor dog, Julianne, is known for barking, but she's...
Yeah, Julianne is the one that you hear, like, almost every podcast. Bella, do you need to get down? Are you too hot? She's like, you told me to get up here.
You can get down now. We're all
Now you're not in
situated.
the way. You can get down. Yeah, I don't even know where that dog lives.
have
Like,
no
I don't
idea.
know the names of the other dogs around the neighborhood, really.
No.
But I recognize, I'm like, okay, I know generally where that one lives, but I
Right.
don't know where this dog is.
No.
Who
it
is
sounds
that?
like far off, too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Is
even
he
know.
into your shoes?
No, he's not. He's laying down. He
Bella,
was
you
chewing on his paw, and now he's got a shoe.
Beetle. No shoes.
No. No. No slippers either. Loophole.
These aren't shoes.
Don't eat
chew
my
on the
bed.
Stick.
This
Stick.
podcast is a disaster.
Stick. They're always a disaster.
I mean, it fits the brand.
Yeah. Get the stick. Such a shit.
Yeah. He's a dung beetle.
Yeah, we walked up to the mini mart to get snacks.
And everybody in there was like, puppy! As one does.
Yeah. Like, I just was walking through, across the store, and one of the cashiers just was like, oh my god! And, like, ran over and was like, I have to touch him. And I was like, that's fair.
And then these old ladies wanted to pet him. And we got catcalled, but they were like, they said something about the puppy.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, how old was he? But I couldn't understand it because it was wind.
Yeah, I just heard puppy and was like,
Yeah.
huh? I just,
And-
like, turned around and, like, kind of shoved him towards him.
Beetle, what do you have to say for the podcast?
You need the mic stand.
Very good.
Very insightful, thank you, sir. It's like,
He
wants to lay down, and then he's like, I'm bored.
Yeah. That's the vibe.
Right? Beetle,
Fine.
get your stick.
He literally throws tantrums.
He really does.
But while we were like walking across the street and the guy catcalled us, I was like, what? And I turned around and he just like thumbs up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Thumbs up to you too.
Well, because he, like, well, when you said what, we turned around, he just kind of looked at us for a second and was like, cute! I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Like, yeah, puppy.
Logan's just out.
He's like covered in pillows, which is very cute. That just sounds like a person going,
No.
Logan has been like a really great babysitter. He's been playing with the puppy all day and keeping up with his energy, which is fucking tough to do. So he just looks like a tired dad. Like, gets up at 5 a.m., passes out on the couch at 5 p.m.
Who is that?
He's looking into my full-length mirror.
He's scratching up your full length mirror.
I mean, it's from
Beetle.
Walmart. This is fine.
This is just the puppy cast now. You just listen to us yell at the puppy for an hour.
But our lives have just pretty much been consumed by Puppy, and I'm okay with this.
There is only Puppy. Also, every time, like every day when I go into work, everybody's just like, show me new pictures. Tell me about the puppy. You're getting tired. I feel like you need a nap because you just seem like you're grouchy.
He does. Bitey.
He really is just a fucking toddler.
He just is.
Mm-hmm. Beepin'?
Yeah. He has acquired the nickname Beep, which is fitting because he just...
behind you again. Oh, okay. That's fine.
He just does that. He beeps.
He beeps. You just can't get comfortable, can you? It's weird. I feel like he doesn't like to lay on the carpet.
Yeah. He just wants to be on, like, flat surfaces.
Yeah, because even, like... Why are you beeping? Like, in my room, I have soft things to lay on. And, like, he'll come up and be on the bed, like he wants to be with me and Bella, but a lot of times, when he decides to go to sleep when we're in my room, he, like, stretches out on the hardwood.
Yeah.
I'm just at a loss for something to talk about. The problem is, like, because we wanted to talk about something fun this time, since our last episode was just, like, depressing. But, like, couldn't think of anything fun to talk about.
The only thing fun is Puppy.
Only Puppy.
Oh.
Also, I tried to look up just, like, you know, as you do occasionally, like, funny conversation starters or something, and literally none of them are funny.
Yeah.
It's just like, is a hot dog a sandwich? Now he's passed out.
Finally.
It's time.
We haven't had an accident today in the house.
In 3 days.
This is knocking on wood because it's gonna happen as
He's
soon
very
as
good at using the
tomorrow
doggy door.
hits.
Yeah,
and
when it
it's
rains.
gonna
Then
rain.
he's gonna take a shit in the house.
Yeah, he doesn't want to poop outside when it's raining, which is fair. But I'm like, no.
Listen, you gotta poop outside. You can't poop in the floor. In the floor.
In the
Can't
floor.
if you pooped in the floor, that would honestly just be impressive.
I would just be like, there's a glitch in the Matrix.
Also, I'd have to move out of my house because the poop smell is just gonna be there forever.
In the floor.
My butt itches. My butt cheek. Just like for like the first half of the day today, I'm just walking around like, why does my fucking butt cheek hurt? Never could figure out why. Just was like, what is going on? It was like my pants were stabbing me in my ass. And I've also had to pee 8,000 times a day because that's just my life. But like, every time I went to the bathroom, it's like checking my pants, trying to figure out what the fuck is stabbing my butt. Eventually it just stopped.
The mysterious.
There's just like a ghost poking me in my butt cheek.
Is it the fucking gnome that keeps beating the shit out of me at night?
So we've established that there's a gnome that just like comes in and just punches Kate repeatedly while she's sleeping.
For like a fucking week, my armpit just hurt. Like it was bruised. And I couldn't find anything wrong with it. But it hurt so bad. I couldn't sleep on that side. And I was like, what is happening?
Well, at first you thought it was because of your vaccine, but then it was like, it hurt for like a week.
Right? And I was like, what is happening?
Also, it's like so weird.
To go
like,
all the way to my armpit.
Right. Anybody else just, you know, it's like the injection site is sore or whatever, or like your arm gets sore, but just specifically your armpit, it's like the wrong side.
Right? No, it was on the right side.
No, but I mean like the wrong side of your arm.
Yeah. I was like, the needle wasn't even that long.
Yeah, it just stabbed straight through your bones.
I'm impaled.
just like sitting there ready to get your shot, and the pharmacist is just like, okay, it's just gonna be a light pinch. Oop. What? Don't worry about it. Just look the other way.
It's fine. Ventilation. And the other thing that happened, I have this like ginormous bruise on the back of my like shin, and where did that come from? Who knows?
Bongino.
I thought you named him Bongino.
Oh, I did now.
Bongino, the Bongino.
Hello? I think there's just
People
ghosts
laughing.
outside.
They're like
Did we talk
listening
about
to
the
our
bird
podcast
last week? Because I don't think we did.
I don't.
There's this giant fucking hawk
It's
that's like
so huge. It's literally like its wingspan is 6+ feet.
like
long.
I've seen him a couple of times sitting on top of the telephone poles, and he's like as big
thick.
around as the top of the telephone pole.
He's ginormous.
He's big.
When we got home from walking to the mini mart with Beetle, we heard a fucking cry, like
Yeah,
a fucking, you know, in movies
just like the
when
stereotype
it's like
sound in movies.
yeah, when it's like a bald eagle. That's what we heard.
Yeah,
and I was
just like
is
in our
that a
fucking front
hawk?
yard, we're like, that's that goddamn bird. We just keep joking that he's gonna yoink the dog.
He's gonna yoink the puppy because he's still small.
Like,
I'm
that bird is big enough.
He is. I'm like actually kind of paranoid about it.
Same. I'm like, he's not
can't-
allowed to go outside by himself.
Yeah,
At
he
least
can't
one of the
just
other
vibe.
dogs has to be with him.
right. At the very least.
But also, he just wants to be outside. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Barn
everybody
dog.
else doesn't want to be outside.
No.
You gotta wait till you're too big for the bird to pick you up.
Yeah.
Then you can go outside by yourself. Because even the other dogs get bored.
Right.
Like, he just wants to sit, like, lay in the dirt, which is fine.
He just wants to vibe.
Yeah.
And the other dogs are like, it's hard out here.
It's pointy.
I'm
The ground's
hot.
lumpy. Where's my couch?
Y'all are so spoiled.
It's funny because, like, when you take Bella anywhere, like outside, if we go camping or we like go out to Clubhouse or whatever, if we're outside, she's like, she acts like such a country dog, and then as soon as we're at the house, she's like, no, where's my bed?
Where's my cushy chaise lounge? My fainting couch.
She would have. If Bella was a person, she would own a fainting couch. 100%.
She would absolutely like own a fainting couch and one of those like long sticks to smoke cigarettes out of.
Mm-hmm.
And a boa. Is that
Yeah.
what those things are? Like
Yeah.
the fluffy.
She'd have like feather boas, or like she would wear furs. She
Yeah.
she would be that kind of lady.
She is a Scorpio.
Such a lady.
Yes.
Why is Bella apparently fucking Cruella de Vil?
She's got the right color.
Bella, no turning puppies into clothes.
She's like, I might. I like to wear.
I do like to wear things. We do have a puppy, just saying. He's got very pretty fur.
He would go great with my coat.
Yeah, except Logan keeps getting him sticky.
Yeah.
He just is sticky. Like, we've just accepted
Like a toddler. Just like, how are you sticky? Why are you sticky? Where did this come from? It's my dog.
it. It's just all of the answer to all of those
Who-
questions is Logan's mouth.
Yeah, who slobbers on him because he wants to play. He wants to play with Logan so bad. And Logan's like, aight. And then he bites his dick. It's like, no.
Yeah, puppy
He's-
just out here taking cheap shots.
He's really cheating. He's got those sharp puppy teeth. And he's like just the size. And he gets under Logan. I feel bad
He
for
has
him.
no respect for anybody's genitals.
No.
He's like bites Logan's wiener. He just like follows Bella around and like licks her coochie. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird. Like, I know
Nasty.
dogs just have no sense of, like,
Personal
personal
space.
space, but damn.
He's just... He
Nasty.
just reminds me of the other day when Logan was standing, like, by the water dish, and Beetle just went under him, and he was like, ah!
Yeah. He didn't even bite him yet. Logan just was like,
No! Get out of there! It's okay, Logan. One day he will be too tall to do that shit.
one day soon, apparently. Even just, like, showing pictures of people at work, they're like, oh my god, he's, like, a different shape now.
Right? He's already getting so
2
big.
weeks ago.
It does not feel like 2 weeks either. It is going so fast. I'm trying to, like, record something of him every day.
How does he do that, though? Like, he's all over the place being an asshole, and then 2 seconds later, he's just dead to the world.
Dude, dogs just pass out so fast. And I'm like,
I could do that.
same.
We're like dads.
Yeah.
And Emily.
Yeah. Emily's just, like, part dad. That's the superpower.
It is a superpower, man. It takes me like 5 hours to fall asleep.
Same. It takes me so long to fall asleep, even when I'm absolutely exhausted sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Except
sometimes,
for when you're cold.
right? Sometimes my body just, like, decides to shut off for no fucking reason. It's like, okay, we're kind of chilly, so it's time to go to sleep. Goodbye. And, like, no matter what I do, I can drink a hot beverage, I can bundle up, I'm out. Like, I just don't have a choice. It is summer now. Like, the vibes are changing. The undertone of the wind, like,
It's not.
it hasn't changed
Spicy.
yet. Yeah. We don't get, like, a warm breeze. We're still in the cool breeze. And that's when it really
But-
changes.
Yeah.
But we're getting there.
'Cause
It
right now
rained
it's just
all
where-
day the other day.
Like, it feels good.
Yeah. It feels
'Cause it's
really
like-
nice.
Because this is like the sweet spot where it's like the temperature is hot, but the breeze is cool.
Yeah. I love it.
Like, but when we get into the summer and then
It's
the
gonna
wind is
be-
hot, and then it just like, ugh,
It's gonna be awful.
it just toasts you, man.
It really does. That's why spring is my favorite season, is like lots of rain. You know, we
Everything
get
turning green. It did, like you said, it rained all day, like a few days ago, and then everything suddenly turned green.
yeah, it was
Just
just
out
like
of nowhere.
a fucking time lapse. Like, it just happened so
Like, literally
fast,
just
like
the next
overnight.
day, it was like all the lawns are green.
Yeah. It is so exciting and beautiful, and I can feel my seasonal depression kind of waning a little bit, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to go outside.
the
I
other
want to go
day.
hiking.
Yesterday,
I want to go camping.
we just like went and sat out in the yard
It was so nice.
until Beetle. He's
Fucking
like too
left
smart
the
for his
yard.
own good. Like, he's smart enough to be an asshole, because he just like, you know, our yard has a fence around it, the front yard, but it's not like
Enclosed. Yeah.
And so he saw some birds on the other side of the fence and immediately realized that he could run around the fence, which the end of it was like 10 feet away. And he
Yeah.
immediately realized he could run around it and go get the birds.
Exactly.
The other dogs like lose balls through the fence constantly,
Yeah.
and then they just like stare at the fence and then stare at you like somebody needs to go get that for
Yeah,
me.
they cannot figure it out, but he
like,
just
you have to go
immedi-
with them. But he was like, I know how to solve this problem.
Yeah, he's a fantastic problem solver, but it's so scary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna get in trouble.
Well, and like for some things, it's funny though, because it's like he can do that, but also I have that like, just for the time being, because he's too bitey and he can't figure out that they are not trying to play with him. He's like relatively separated from the rabbits. And I have just like a little, it like literally a foot tall fucking like just
Gate
gate
thing.
to just separate that either one of them, like the rabbits know that they can jump over it, but they don't care to. And he hasn't figured out that he could just hop right over it yet. Like, he just
He
stands there and
absolutely could.
cries.
Yeah.
He,
Which is a good thing
yeah,
for now.
but it's just funny.
Yeah. It's just like, there's so many, like, interesting ways that each dog learns.
Yeah. I feel like every time I look over, Logan is just like more buried somehow.
Yeah.
He's not
It's
even
just,
moving.
like,
It's just he's like
sinking it
being
more
like sucked into the bed.
more into the pillows that are just encompassing him.
So cozy. Such a tired boy.
It's a vibe. I'm also like super tired.
Same.
I took like, it wasn't a nap because I didn't fall asleep, but I like dozed off a little bit
Yeah.
for 30 minutes.
One of those.
Yeah.
I feel like anytime I like those kind of naps, well, I don't nap. Right? Like, I either fall asleep for 7 hours or I don't actually sleep. But you get those weird, I guess, cat naps or whatever you want to call them, where you just kind of are like in limbo, but you don't know how much time has passed.
Yeah.
So you like lay down and close your eyes, and then you kind of come to, and you're like, where am I?
Yeah.
But it's been like 5 minutes.
Right? I had that. It was, because I timed it too, because I was like, well, it's around 2 o'clock. I don't know if I should do anything. And Beetle was asleep, so I was like, alright, I'm just gonna close my eyes. I'm not gonna fall asleep, just in case anything happens. And I opened my eyes because I heard Beetle get up. And it was like 30 minutes later, and I was like, I didn't even sleep. What happened?
Right?
What else is going on? Pokemon Snap came out. It looks fun, but I'm also like, I don't have money to spend on like one track Pokemon game.
Yeah, I feel like it really mostly just appeals to anybody who has the nostalgia for the original one. Like, I know people have been begging for, like, this for years. I just have never cared.
I played
like, it looks cute, but I just, like, it feels like something that could be a phone app, and I don't want to pay for it.
I mean, like, I feel like it should be like indie game price. To be fair, I don't know the pricing of it.
Yeah, I haven't looked.
Um,
It just seems like you can do a lot of, I mean, obviously there's more stuff in it, but there's like pretty solid aspect of it in Pokemon Go.
yeah.
Like, you can take pictures of Pokemon and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously there's like, you know, scenes and a lot of different things that you find in the actual game, but
I mean, I played Pokemon Snap when I was a kid. Like, I think it's on the Nintendo 64, right? Yeah, I played it. It was fun, but I don't know that I would buy it now, you know? I don't know what it all entails, and I don't like, it's not like a remake, so I wouldn't have like the nostalgia, I don't think. So I'm like,
nothing against anybody who does want to buy it. It
absolutely,
just,
like, it's fine.
not for me.
Yeah. I just kept seeing posts on Twitter about it, and I'm like, that's cute. I really like, it's pretty. And if you just want to, like, vibe and have that sort of environment for a while, hell yeah, dude.
I'm still just so stoked for the Legends game.
Dude, same. It looks so good. I'm stoked for Diamond and Pearl remakes because those were the first Pokemon games that I was actually able to, like, complete.
Bella, can you, like, calm down a little?
And that were mine. So, loved it.
Man, we haven't podcasted since, like, a lot of that video game news, I just realized.
Yeah.
We had so much ranting.
Yeah,
we didn't record it.
Right? We really, like, went off about it. And say what you want about the Diamond and Pearl remakes, because, you know, you will anyway, but I I'm in between. Like, I don't really. There's something about, like, the hands in the chibi art that are like. Sorry, that are like kind of. That I don't like about it. But I'm also like. I think it fits the best for a remake.
I
Like, if
like
you
it.
just want, like,
I know
remakes,
a
it's
lot of
going to look
people.
like that.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have just thrown a huge fit about it. Now, granted, I didn't play those ones. Like, I pretty much, I went from Pokemon Yellow to X and Y. I didn't play anything in between because I didn't have any of the stuff.
Damn.
So, like, I don't, I didn't play the original versions.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. But I think it looks really cute.
Yeah.
And
The
a lot of
style looks
people have
adorable.
complained about it because they want it to look like Sword and Shield or like Let's Go.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like this like chibi art style like suits a remake for the older games because that's what the fucking sprites looked like.
Yeah. And if
You
you
know?
want it to be like a pixel for pixel remake, like that's what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
Unless you want like a themed game of that game, like I could get that. I would get behind it, but if it's gonna be a remake, it's gonna look like that.
Yeah. I think it's cute. I feel like it's just a good way to like pay homage to the original games.
Yeah. I would have preferred having like an Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire sort of style with the sprites being just a little bit taller. But, I'm not going to be super nitpicky about it because, I am excited to experience that again on the Switch. There's been a lot of Pokemon remakes on the Switch already that I have played through and I love them. I played through Pokemon Mystery Dungeon DX. Loved it. It was so beautiful. It really combined like the 3D style with the original stylistic like Game Boy pixel art, and I really fucking appreciated it. It was beautiful. It had all the nostalgic music in it. And I'm like, if we could do that with remakes, I get like that's essentially what they're doing with Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah. Well, and I think I know everybody's really picky about the graphics and the designs in a lot of games, and I really like how the newer Pokemon games look. Like I don't necessarily want them to go in a different direction, but I think that with remakes it gives them an opportunity to play around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this I think about this a lot, and we've talked about it before. I don't think on the podcast, but one of the things that I think is just so awesome about the Zelda franchise is that every game has a different style, with exceptions to like direct sequels that have the same style to its previous game, but like every game has a different style.
Yeah.
Everything has different designs every single time, and I think that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, what other franchise does that?
It keeps it very interesting. It keeps it fresh and relevant,
Yeah.
honestly.
And like every time there's a new installment, it's just like, oh man, what's everybody gonna look like? I'm so excited to see like the character sketches and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think that there's anything wrong with, keeping a style for a franchise by any means. Like, it's recognizable, it's familiar, it pulls you in.
Yeah.
And like developing that style, especially with older franchises like Pokemon that started out being like your character's like 5 pixels and now they're like a walking around full-sized human person.
Right.
Like, that's really awesome. But I think that this kind of like doing this with remakes when you're taking a game that your character was 5 pixels and now you can do something else with it, but then also taking the main like line and still progressing that same style, like you can have that over here, but then with your remakes it's like, what if we do something a little different?
Yeah.
Like you still keep the important parts of the designs, I guess, for like your Pokemon designs and everything. Still pretty much gonna stay the same for like your sprites and stuff. What is he doing?
He's just like pressing himself against the wall as much as possible.
Yeah. He kind of does, like, I feel like he likes to push his tummy against the wall, like he said, because he gets hot.
Yeah.
Naked tummy.
Yeah.
Feels good on the wall.
I mean, I do that too.
Yeah,
Just
same.
like, yes. I put my legs on the wall because I'm like, hot,
Yeah,
toasty.
or like up against any cooler surface, like the blankets that I haven't touched in a little while, or pillows or whatever.
Yeah. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that it's important to keep your beloved franchises fresh by playing with art styles a lot.
I don't know.
I don't want to be like a Nintendo fanboy about it, but I'm like, I just, I like it. I think it's fun.
I am a Nintendo fanboy a little bit. Here's the thing. I grew up with Nintendo, and that's like, their style of games really appeal to me because they're whimsical and colorful, and I'm a child.
Yeah.
And that's not for everybody, that's fine. But, like, being, like, obsessed with their franchises doesn't mean that I can't criticize the company. And that's
Yeah.
what I find really frustrating when I'm, like, trying to talk to people online, because it's, like, just speaking of remakes, because we're getting a lot lately of, like, the Zelda ones and Pokemon and whatever. Every single time there's a remake, without fail, there are people bitching about how much it costs. The fact that
Yeah.
it is list price. And I'm like, they're remaking this entire fucking game. And they're adding shit to it.
Yeah.
And you want it to cost less than the original? Like, you're not buying a used copy of the game.
Yeah. It's still, you are buying that game again.
Yeah. Like, you're buying a new game.
Yeah.
Just because you've played it before doesn't mean this isn't new.
Yeah.
But, like, I get so frustrated trying to have this conversation with people, and they're like, oh, you're just a fucking fanboy. Like, and you just get all these responses that are like, Nintendo doesn't care about you, or like, way to, like, lick the bourgeoisie's ass, or whatever. Like, oh, you fucking bootlicker. And it's like, no, you're just being a jackass. Like, I
Yeah.
can point out any number of things that the company does wrong, but right now they're just asking you to pay a reasonable price for something that they made.
Also, like, I don't understand the Nintendo hate because Nintendo is notorious for paying its employees a reasonable wage.
Also, Nintendo's AAA titles still cost less than everyone else's AAA titles.
Exactly. So,
Like, it's just so frustrating to me.
yeah, it's just, I want people to have a livable wage. Am I so fucking awful for that? Like, these game designers deserve it because I'm happy for like 3 minutes out of my day.
Right? Well, and the other thing is, like, they're known better for, like, actually paying their employees, but also the number of times that games have been pushed, like Animal Crossing, for example.
Yeah.
The release date was pushed so far because they didn't want to force their employees into crunch time,
Yeah.
which every other company does. Like, and not to
Exactly.
say that Nintendo doesn't also do that, because I'm sure they do,
Mm-hmm.
but, like, it's, everybody knows within the gaming community that, like, the companies are notorious for forcing the developers into crunch time, where it's, like, horribly stressful,
Yeah.
and then you end up with
An incomplete game anyway.
Bethesda games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to, I mean, it's Bethesda. Like,
Yeah.
like, fun games, but we all know how well they are known for their glitches and
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
is it a glitch or a feature?
Yes. It
But
just
like
works.
that kind of shit. Yeah. And, like, I'm not going to say that Nintendo doesn't also do that, because I'm sure they do, but they're known for pushing games to avoid that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I feel like they maybe treat their employees a little better.
Yeah.
Or, like, at least, the companies that they own seem to make an effort to do that. I just get so tired of that. Like, because, I mean, you know, I'm stoked for the Skyward Sword remake
Mm-hmm.
because,
Everybody fucking hates it.
yeah. Well,
Not because everybody fucking hates
yeah.
it, but like...
Well, because here's the thing. Because I have, like, just for like a year have had a hankering to go back and replay that game.
Mm-hmm. But it's rough.
But it's rough because, honestly, the biggest thing for me is that trying to play pretty much any Wii game on newer TVs, it just doesn't work and they look god awful. Like, I remember I was talking to my brother about this a while ago. I remember when that game came out and just thinking it looked so beautiful and
Yeah.
it was like so awesome. And then going back and we played it for binge night a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And just like, I even bought different cables to like make the transition a little less rough to hook it up to my TV, but it just looks bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, nothing against the game. I still think it's a beautiful game, but it just like, the Wii was not made to be used on these TVs.
Yeah.
So just putting it on there, and same thing with like the GameCube sometimes.
Yeah.
It's a little different because they're not as textured, so it translates a little bit better, but yeah, playing Wii games on flat screens on HD TVs, it just looks like shit. And so it's like hard for me because it's hard even just to read the dialogue because it's so like screwed up. And then on top of that, like, you know, I really don't hate the motion controls. It's just they were not as good as they needed to be. And especially, like, my room is very small and I'm very close to my TV. So it's hard to play anything on the Wii with motion controls because I'm just too close to the sensor. So I haven't wanted to get it out and play it on the Wii because I'm like, it's just gonna, like, it's not gonna be as good as I want it to be. So I've just been, like, hoping
Yeah.
for a remake. And I just was, like, really hoping for it this year. And because it's the game's 10th anniversary and it's Zelda's 35th. So I was like, we gonna get this game?
Yeah.
So I was so excited when they announced it. Just to have a bunch of people. And the other thing is because, like, everybody, when the game came out, what are you doing, Beetle?
He's like stuck his face between my bed and the wall.
I
don't even know how he can fit in there.
don't know, man. But everybody's like shat on that game because of the motion controls, and I understand they're not great.
Yeah.
You just have to have a little bit of patience and not flail the remote around like a crazy person, and it
Not
will
me.
be a little bit easier for you. Well, but even like, I know they were a little frustrating for us when we were playing together, but like everybody
Yeah.
did it just fine.
Yeah.
Like it was not.
Like, we got through it.
There was no rage quit situations. It just
Yeah.
was like, motherfucker, I have to recalibrate the goddamn remote again.
Yeah.
Which is the bit. That's the thing. Is like, you know, you're fighting stuff and you are just flailing it around like whatever because it doesn't matter when you're just fighting, you know, whatever random bad guy.
Yeah.
And then you have to go fight something that requires you, or do something that requires precision, and the remote is like way off.
Yeah. Very toasty.
But like so many people, I feel like a lot of people went from playing. You beeping?
He yawned.
Good yawn. I feel like so many people went from playing Twilight Princess on the Wii, where literally that's just the controls, like for using the sword is just shaking the remote, to Skyward Sword and assuming that it works the same way, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Like you had to be a little bit more mindful of how you were moving it. So I feel like people went into it playing it that way, and it didn't work, and then they didn't pay attention to figure out how to make it work, and then we're like, this fucking sucks, and then never beat the game. So, like, the game, which just has, honestly, arguably the best musical score in the series, and, like, a really fun art style, and despite how annoying Fee is, I really love the characters, even her as a character. She's, you know, annoying when she tells you 800 times that your Wii remote is dying because you're using batteries like crazy, but
The only problematic character is Girahim.
being nasty. Keep your tongue to yourself, sir. Honestly, though, I do love his character because he's such a good villain. Like, I hate him so goddamn much.
Right? Every time you see his face, you're like, fuck you.
You're just like, ugh!
Nasty!
But, like, that makes him such a good villain. Because even, like, I can't think of any other, at least Zelda villain, that I really hate.
Yeah.
And that's a good villain.
Yeah.
Are you a hot boy?
He wasn't even, like, annoying. He was just like, ooh.
Yeah, he was a little annoying. I mean, because he, like, talks down to you so much, and you're like, fuck you.
Yeah. He's
I'm
just
a lad trying to find my girlfriend, and you're showing up here, putting your tongue in my ear, and then telling me I'm a bitch. What is this?
I meant, like, not annoying, like, mechanically.
Yeah.
Like, mechanic-wise.
Okay.
He's just, like, out of it, but also just, like, panting on top of a pillow, like, are you sleepy? Sleepy boy?
But anyway.
Beetle might have to go out, so we might have to pause for a minute.
All these hot dogs.
Toasty.
Anyway, return from potty break. Oh, yeah. Scouts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like just so many people, I mean, have just hated on that game so much because, oh, Fee's annoying. Which, I mean, is fair. She is annoying, but I still like her.
Like,
I like
every
Navi
Zelda
too.
game has an annoying character.
Like, and they
like,
definitely, like, there's a little too much hand holding for my taste.
Yeah.
I get it. Which I feel like they probably are removing a lot of that for the remake.
Yeah.
Would be
Smooths
nice.
it out and makes it, like, an enjoyable experience that you
Yeah.
can also have the nostalgia for.
Yeah. But, like, I feel like one of the reasons that I've wanted a remake for this game so badly, especially for the Switch, is just that, like, I want other people to be able to play it and
Yeah.
get the full enjoyment out of it that they missed out on when it came out the first time. Because
Yeah.
I honestly think it is such a good game. Like, there are definitely complaints that, I mean, I understand. Like, Fee being annoying, I get it. The Skyloft is kind of boring. Like, you have this, huge sky city, and there's not really anything there. And I hope that they kind of add some stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like, but I wouldn't doubt that they do. Like, we haven't really seen anything yet other than this is going to exist.
Yeah.
But, like, I hope they add some mini games or something to the other Sky Islands. I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
But I'm just, like, I want people to be able to play it and have the good experience that I feel like I had.
Yeah. And it's also, like, who the fuck is gonna go back? Or, like, who's going to be able to go back and buy a whole console just to play, like, the whole series
Yeah.
if they're feeling nostalgic? Like, people, sell their consoles over the years, or they, don't get them updated. And, I think that it's nice of Nintendo to try and, like, make it accessible again.
Yeah. But back to my original point, it just frustrates me that it's like you have, especially with remakes, because it's a little different with remasters, because really they go in and update the graphics and that's pretty much it. They don't add stuff. When they, like, remake a game
Yeah. They're putting in all of that work
and they
to
go in
remake
and, like, well, I guess this one, it is kind of
a
a
remaster.
remaster. But still, like, even so was, like, Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah.
And they up the graphics and make them better and more, like, modern, I guess. And then they add shit. And they spend all that time doing that. And it's like, I just keep seeing so many people be like, oh, why am I paying whatever, $60? I'm pretty sure is what it is. Why am I paying $60 for just a fucking port? And it's like, it's not a port. If it was a port, it wouldn't look any different.
Also,
If it was a
nobody's
port-
making you buy this.
Yeah. Like,
Nobody's
That's the thing,
fucking
too.
forcing you
why do they
to buy
expect me
this.
to pay this much for this. Well, if you don't want to do that, then don't. Then go fucking buy a Wii and play it on your Wii or emulate it on your computer or whatever.
Like, it's
if you
not
don't want
that
to
hard
pay for
to just
it,
be like, no,
then
thank
you can go back and get the shitty looking version that doesn't look good anymore.
Yeah.
Like, but if you want to play this pretty version with new stuff, then you have to pay for the people who fucking made it for you.
Yeah, and you have to think for yourself, God fucking forbid, that you have to think, I don't know, is this worth it to have this on this console? Is it worth it to have this updated and pretty for me? Like, it's up to you. Nobody's making you buy this or expecting you to even, like...
It also just, like... It makes me mad that people are like, oh, the original game was only $40, so why is it $60 now? Like, have you heard of inflation?
Have you fucking seen the economy at all?
Like, yeah, the original game was only $40 on a shittier console. Not that the Wii was shitty, but, like, comparatively. 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what happens over 10 years? Things get more expensive.
Yeah.
Every AAA game now for Nintendo is $60.
Yep.
And every AAA game for Sony and Microsoft is like 75 and to 80.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are like 60. Depends on the game. Depends on how big it is. There's variances, but like...
Yep.
Bitch. Like, it's very frustrating.
It is. It's just like...
Why do I have to pay this much for this game? Well, that's what the game's fucking worth.
Yeah.
Same thing with, like, they keep doing... Like, when this comes up, everybody always brings up the Link's Awakening remake, too. And that one was a full remake.
Yeah.
They rebuilt that game.
Yeah.
And everybody still is like, why was it $60? Like...
Because it's a new game.
The Game Boy cartridge, however many fucking years ago, 15 years ago, was like... probably like $30-$40.
Yeah.
And then they remade that, like, completely started over, remaking the game. Well, I'm sure they still took shit, but,
Yeah, like...
They rebuilt the game for a brand new console, and the graphics are so fucking cute, and they work for the game so well.
Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping for with the Diamond and Pearl remakes.
Yeah.
Is, like, that's the kind of style that it looks like. And there's so many things that I remember specifically with Diamond and Pearl, like the Poffin making shop. How are you gonna do that with, like, you could do it in 3D, but it would take so much longer and so much more detailed. And we're not only getting, the Sinnoh remakes, we're getting a whole new story in Sinnoh.
Yeah.
So they're not just focusing on one thing. They're doing another whole ass game, too.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, too, and I used to think this way when I was younger, and I hadn't realized or hadn't quite figured out. The point of remakes is just to keep you busy.
Yeah.
While we wait for new stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's the biggest thing. And, I mean, we all love them. Because that's another thing that just drives me up the wall. And again, I used to think like this until, I got less dumb. That, you see that they're making remakes, and people will be like, oh, why are they making remakes instead of focusing on this new thing?
It's like, a filler episode.
It's different people working on it?
Yeah.
It's not the same team. They are working on that other thing, but there's a different team that they brought in to give you something to keep you busy while you wait for the next one.
Yeah.
Like, that's what that is.
Yeah.
I get so tired of seeing that too. Why don't they focus on blah blah blah? They are.
Because it's completely different.
This is a different guy.
Yeah.
This guy is over here working on the thing that you want them to be working on, and this guy got hired in and brought in to do this other thing for you to look at and spend money on and be happy about, and while you're waiting for the other thing.
Yeah.
Stop being still wiener.
Yeah.
The other thing is going to take just as long, no matter what.
Right. Now I'm thinking about the upcoming Elder Scrolls game, and I'm like, I wonder how that's going to turn out, because we have been
They
waiting
actually
for
making
quite a while.
new Elder Scrolls game? I
They
didn't know
are.
that.
Yeah, they announced it like 3 years ago. So I'm like,
I just only ever hear about Skyrim on a new thing.
Right.
Play Skyrim on your Alexa.
play Skyrim on your fucking fridge. That one was just funny.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
They're just memeing themselves at this point. And
Yeah.
honestly, I can appreciate that.
Like,
how old is Skyrim, though? Like, that game's been out since...
it's like 12 years old, right? Like,
And they just keep putting it out.
yeah. It's on the Switch. Why?
Right? It's on literally everything.
Yeah. It's just... I'm just tired of, like, being excited about something, and then I'm like, I want to see what other people are saying, and then I'm like, no, I don't. Never mind.
You're like, oh man, I'm so excited, I want to talk to people about it, and then
Yeah.
the other people are like, this is bullshit, and you're like, never
"Mm,
mind.
Yeah, no. Like, okay, with some franchises, I get it. Like, the Sims franchise, honey, don't get me
Like,
started.
Listen, here's the thing. I have no qualms with people making valid complaints, but it's
Right.
just that, like, they're so loud about the dumbest shit.
Yeah, and it's not even relevant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what your point is, my dude.
Like, we've talked about this at length, but every time there's a new Animal Crossing update, and then it's just like, they give
People
us
are
some
like,
shit we've been begging for.
Yeah, I'm like,
like-
shut the fuck up.
Like,
They
with
know.
the last bigger one where they gave us more design slots and stuff. Like, everybody's been begging for that, and more storage.
Yeah.
Everybody's
fucking
been
sitting on the
begging
ground
for that for months. And they finally give it to you, and instead of being like, "Ah, sick! I'm so glad we got this," everybody's
Yeah.
just like, "But what about Brewster?
Yeah.
Where's Brewster?" And it's like, "Shut up!
Shut up, my
Just
dude.
wait." God,
It's not that hard.
why did they release an incomplete game? Like they
It's
didn't.
not. If you go
It's not
back,
like you're buying all this extra shit.
no, like, if you go back to, like, when the game was released, it's a functional game.
Yeah.
They just made, ease of access and different things that people were asking for available.
Yeah.
Like, my dude.
Also, there's just like lazy shit.
Yeah. And
that
the
people
reason
complain about.
that they did release things periodically is because people would time travel and fucking ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah. Also, they want you to keep playing it.
Yeah.
Instead, like, when people who time travel, I feel like you don't really beat Animal Crossing, but, like, quote-unquote beat the game in,
Yeah.
like, a couple weeks if you time travel. Like, to the extent that a lot of people do,
Yeah.
and you go and get all the shit, and it's like,
And then
what's
you're
the
like, well,
point?
I'm done.
Yeah. Like, this game it's
I'm
supposed
bored.
to be a slow burn, okay?
Yeah. It's supposed to be, like, I feel like Animal Crossing is supposed to be your daily driver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you come in, it's just, it helps you center yourself for the day. It's relaxing. It's
You
enjoyable.
check in, you do your daily chores, you
Yeah.
talk to everybody.
You see how everybody's doing. You maybe decorate something that you've been looking forward to, or like you find something in the shop that's different.
Yeah.
And then, you're ready for your day, or you go do other things.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be like all consuming.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, it's like those people, if you really want to play it that way, that's your business, but it's really annoying when those are the people who immediately get on, Reddit or whatever other forums and are just posting all over, and it's like, great, I'm glad that you just showed me every holiday and everything months
Yeah.
in advance so I can't just experience it myself. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Those are also the same people who overload their island to the point where it's not even functional and then complain that
They're
it doesn't
like,
work.
oh,
And it's
well,
like,
my Switch is like lagging because I have 47,000 items on my island at once.
well, and I saw some people complaining the other day that the game, it was like, people complain about the loading screens when people are coming to and from islands, which I think is stupid because I love that like load in screen
I
when
think
you're
it's
waiting for
adorable.
your friends to come over and it has like the little airport thing. I think it's cute as fuck.
But
And
you're
then
doing
like
it to
you
the
get the
point
little
where it's
cut
like it's
scene
not
where your
fun.
friends come in, you get to see what outfit they picked out to come
Right.
to your island, and like I think I love it.
Yeah.
But there are people who just, and it's the people who go and like do like turnip trading and
Or
shit
like,
and item whatever, where you have a billion people coming to and from your island all day who
yeah.
hate it, and it's like that's because you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
well, like
I don't want to be like you're doing it wrong, but that's not the intended purpose. So
Yeah.
like, don't complain about it. Why would they take out this thing that's like really fun and cute if you're like doing it, if you're playing the way that they, you know, implemented
it.
that for you to play it? Then it's fun and cute, but you know, the way you're doing it, it's annoying because there's 30 people coming into your island right now. Well,
Yeah.
maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
But like people were complaining, well, it's so fucking slow and blah blah blah, and I'm like, it's really not.
No.
Like the load-in screens are not. It's like a few seconds.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it has the little cutscene and it's like, cute. Here's my friend, and you get to see their title and all of that.
I just feel like the people who do that are like very impatient, and I'm like, maybe then like Animal Crossing is not the
Right.
game you want to play right now.
Like if you want to go through and just grind and like get through a game, then don't play Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Like it's not the game for you.
Yeah.
But and this is one of those where I got into a conversation with a person and I just kept getting Nintendo doesn't care about you, stop like arguing for them, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not arguing for Nintendo. You're just being stupid.
Yeah. I'm not like
and this person
if anything,
just being
I'm
like,
arguing for the developers.
yeah.
Like,
And for the game that I enjoy, that I like this feature, and you want them to take it out, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want them to take it out. I'm having a good time.
right? Like, okay, maybe if you're gonna be an asshole about it, like add a skip option, but I'm like, that kind of takes it out of it for me as well. Like, not being able to skip it, like, forces you to take your time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you need to do that sometimes. My chair farted.
But, like, what was I going to say? Oh, this person was like, oh, you know, being exaggerating and stuff, but being like, oh, why does it have to take fucking 5 years and a billion dialogue options just to get to somebody's island or whatever? And I'm like, I feel like I've told this to so many people online who complain about loading times on, like, when they're playing online. I'm like, I used to be like you. I used to blame the game and my internet, and then we got a better fucking router, and I don't have those problems anymore. So
Yeah.
listen, my system is old. I've had it since launch, and
Yeah.
it's slowed up a little bit, but I don't feel like since we've gotten our new router, I mean, with the exception of when it needs to be reset or whatever, because that's just the way of things, but like I really don't have issues anymore. Like we do have the occasional, you know, getting kicked off, booted off an island or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's like everything loads like pretty well.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like it takes very long. It's certainly not long enough for me to be, you know, get bored. Bitch, I got ADHD.
Right. And if it's not long enough for me to like look
Pick
at
up
my
my phone,
phone,
yeah.
then I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah. So I'm like, if it takes you that long, then like this is a problem on your end.
Yeah.
This is not the game, or like maybe it's your console. Maybe you need to like clear up some space. Maybe you need to figure out your internet situation, but like don't blame the game because it takes apparently 5 years to load into somebody's island.
Right.
Or maybe it's just because there's already 40 people on that island and it's overloaded.
Yeah. Or it's like already just like filled with items and shit, and your game is like, whoa, guy.
Yeah. Like you've said, I haven't really done like dream islands or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But you've said that you've gone to a few where,
Yeah.
like, to some of the very pretty but non-functional islands where, like, it does take a long time to
Yeah.
load in.
They're gorgeous, but like you can't move through them.
Yeah.
And I really don't feel like it's the game's fault or like the system's fault. I feel like it's
Like, that's on you.
like that's not
like
the
any game,
intended.
any sandbox game, no matter what, if you put too much shit down, it's gonna get problematic.
It's just how it is.
Like, if you have an item on literally every square,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. And like so many items are interactable. Like, you know how much shit goes into that? I don't. But neither do you. Like it's probably a lot. So it's frustrating and people are just so salty about it and I'm like, I'm looking forward to things because I have to.
I'm just trying to have a good time.
But
Or even like when we got that first little teaser trailer for Legends Pokemon,
Yeah.
like, and everybody complaining
like,
that it looks so empty and boring, and it's like they haven't put anything in there yet.
Yeah.
Of course it's empty.
it's the first look.
The game, like when they announced it, the game it's like a year and a half out, and
Yeah.
we still aren't even like. Let's be real, it may or may not get pushed because that just happens.
Yeah.
Especially because of the pandemic, but like they got a while.
Yeah.
Like
They've
the
got
game
a
is
time.
not near finished, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's so empty." Like, yeah,
That's what a
this
first
is the
look
skeleton
is called.
of the game. Of course, it's empty. I still think it looks pretty, even like.
We just have a werewolf in our neighborhood.
Really.
I keep hearing like a person and then I hear the dog and I'm like, what is the werewolf?
Let's go be friends with the werewolf. I'll be a
Okay.
werewolf.
Okay. That sounds nice. We all keep wanting to go live in the woods.
Yeah.
Just take our dogs, we'll be the werewolves in the woods. Sorry to derail the conversation. Yeah.
I just want to be excited about video games.
Right.
I don't get to be excited.
Right.
Like, generally.
With anything.
So I get excited about something, and then I'm like, yes, I want to go be in a herd of excited people, and then no one else is excited. They're just
Yeah.
angry, and I'm like, now I'm sad.
No.
Now I'm angry, because you're being an asshole.
Yeah. Now I'm just like,
Just trying to have a good time.
can't have nothing.
Can't do nothing. I know.
Like, I'm all here for like being a conscious consumer and like trying
Like I
and
was
making
saying,
sure that like companies aren't taking advantage of you. I get that.
I don't have any problem with like constructive criticism, but it's the
Right.
screaming about stupid shit.
Right.
Like
Like,
with Animal Crossing, if you're gonna
Fucking-
complain about the drop rate for items and DIYs, absolutely, it's fucked. They need
Yeah.
to fix that. But if you're gonna complain that Brewster's not in the game yet, I want you to shut the fuck up.
yeah. Brewster was never an integral part of Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Also,
Ever.
I'm pretty sure, like, we already know he's gonna be in it eventually. You just
Yeah.
gotta wait.
Right?
Bella, don't be nasty.
It's like they know. They know.
Yeah.
And they're listening to you.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're listening to you. They have shown that they are listening to you.
Right?
Like, just chill. Like, Brewster's not important anymore and whatever. It's just like, dude, you're acting like a child.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of
You're a
it.
fucking baby. Also, like, listen, there's a lot of NPCs that I would like to see in the game.
It
That
literally
aren't
sounds
there, but
to me like, well, I'm not getting what I want.
right? Or just like fucking especially when it came out, and I don't really follow any pages or threads or anything about it anymore cuz it's just more like we've talked about this before. I don't have as much fun playing Smash Bros anymore because it's just a very competitive community. It's just not for me anymore.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's fine. But like when I was following it more, just listening to people bitch and moan about which characters are not in the game. Like,
Right.
people who are genuinely upset that Waluigi's not a playable character.
Right.
Like,
it was
listen,
funny for the memes.
yeah, like, the
But I'm
meme
like-
was funny, and now you're all taking it
Now
seriously.
you're all just like,
it's-
no.
Stop.
No.
And, like, just throwing a fit. And then being angry because, you know, every other Fire Emblem character gets added because the creator of the game likes them. So he's just like, yes, I'm going to keep adding these guys.
Yeah.
Which, like, again, it's kind of overloaded by that one game, but, like, he can do whatever he wants.
Right?
It's his game. And they're all fun characters to play, but you're gonna, like, bitch and moan about, oh, another fucking Fire Emblem. Yep. It sure is. There's like a
And?
billion characters in that game now.
Yeah.
You have so many to choose from.
Right? There's so many options for you. Also, like, just imagine being like that with all the Mario characters.
Right.
Like, just shh. You're so angry. Go, like, put that anger at, like, Jeff Bezos or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
something useful. Or fucking Mark Wahlberg buying all of Hawaii.
Yeah. You know those are the same people, though, too, who are like, oh, this fucking game company is taking advantage of us and blah, 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 but also are the same people who will refuse to go to a specialty game store to buy their games because they can get a 20% discount on Amazon.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, just throwing this out there, as soon as Amazon runs all of the specialty stores out of business, they will mark up their prices like fucking crazy. Just
Yeah.
saying. All those fun special discounts you get for paying $150 for Amazon Prime, which really doesn't amount to a discount.
No.
Memberships are a scam. Like, all that shit's gonna disappear as soon as they don't have any competition. Just saying.
Yep.
But, like, you know, those are just the same people. The same people who are like, oh, stop being such a bootlicker for Nintendo or whoever
Right.
are also just, like, shoving their entire face up Jeff Bezos' ass because he has a drone that can take shit to their house.
Yeah. I'm so tired.
Same. I think we should end it before we just get more salty.
Yeah.
What? Hello?
Weren't we supposed to talk about good things? We're excited about things. We're excited about
Video games?
video games. Our video games.
I'm so excited to play Skyward Sword again.
Skyward Sword
Like,
is this
I keep-
summer, right?
Yeah, it's July? June or July?
I don't remember when Diamond and Pearl is coming out. I should
I
probably.
Was that one announced yet? I don't know if the date was announced for that one yet.
I have no idea.
My guess is in the fall, though.
Yeah.
For holiday. But I'm so excited to play it. I keep forgetting that it's a thing, and then I will, like, think about it and be like,
Be
oh
like,
shit,
yes.
I need to go, like, put money on my pre-order or something.
Yeah.
And then I just, like, get renewed excitement to play it.
Right. I'm so excited.
I
to
haven't
play.
seen regular GameStop guy in a little while, though. Makes me sad.
That is sad.
I think he's still there. I just not every time that I go in there.
Yeah.
You know, as much as people want to, like, shit on GameStop and the memes of, like, you know, I'll give you 5 cents for used games, whatever.
Yeah.
I, like, you know, I would love it if we had a local game store, but we don't.
Yeah.
And I really like GameStop.
Yeah.
And
I
don't
like-
want them to go out of business.
Yeah.
People kind of seem to root for that. I think that's fucked up.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't have a
wanna
game
buy all my
store.
games online.
Right?
I
I don't
don't
want to do
want
that.
that.
I like going to the store and being
Yeah.
able to, like, chat with the employees.
Yeah. And be like,
I like
oh, well,
having
what
a
did you
GameStop
think about
guy.
this one?
Yeah.
And also, like, they can recommend me different games that I might be interested in that I didn't know about.
Like when I go in to pick something up or make a pre-order and they're like, dude, I'm so fucking stoked for this game. And I'm like, dude, fucking same.
Right?
And then we just go off on theories and I just get to have a fun conversation with a person. That's not something that I get to do very often.
Right?
I have social anxiety and I don't like talking to people. It stresses me out.
Right?
But when they like introduce a conversation where it's like, dude, Animal Crossing, am I right? And I'm like,
Right?
fuck yeah, bro. And then we could just like have a good interaction. And you don't get
Right?
that at like Target.
No.
Listen, I love Target, but you don't get that at, you know,
No.
big box stores like that. Like, that's just the appeal. It's not just GameStop. Like, any specialty store,
That does that. Yeah.
like,
You're
FYE
in there
used to be
for
fun, too.
a reason.
They're not really their specialty anymore, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, that's why those stores are important to me. Even if it is still a corporation, it's a specialty store with a specialty, like, knowledge in its employees.
Yeah. There's like a certain type of person that works there, you know, like it's a certain type of environment.
Yeah. Those are important to me.
Yeah. And honestly, it feels like a community.
Mm-hmm.
More so than online. Because, like, I don't participate in online communities because they're so mean
they're
and
fucking
salty.
shitty. Like, all of the same shit we've just been ranting about for the last 30 minutes. Like, that's why I don't want to be part of that.
Exactly.
But if I can go talk to GameStop guy, you
Yeah.
know, once every couple weeks and just be stoked about stuff, like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
I enjoy it.
I was just thinking about it because I saw, like, a post the other day from, it was like a tweet thread, from like, family-owned bookstore somewhere. I don't remember what the store was or where it was. But they were making this post and they were like, we just want you guys to understand, like, no, we don't want to tell anybody how to shop or where to shop, but we need you to understand that the reason that our books are more expensive than online, Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't specifically say Amazon, but, like, we all know.
Yeah.
The reason that those online shops have cheaper books is because, like, we buy books from the publisher and we get, like, okay, there's, like, the list price on the book. That's how much the book costs.
Mm-hmm.
And we buy it from the publisher for, like, a huge discount because
Yeah.
we're buying in such bulk, right? And then we get to resell it to you at the list price so we make a profit.
Yeah.
But, you know, companies like Amazon don't have to sell it at the list price or make a profit off of it because they have other stuff that they're making profits off of.
Mm.
Like, they're selling fucking game consoles and TVs and shit and whatever, that they're
Right.
making a profit off of those things so they can afford to sell a book at, like, a 5-cent profit or less, or no profit, and, like, literally lose money on it because they're making money off of other stuff. And the entire reason that they do that is because they are actively trying to run every other company out of business.
Yeah.
But, like, any other store can't do that because they actually, you know, have to function as a business and make money off of it. So what you're getting in exchange is that customer interaction, like, that knowledgeable interaction. And it's the same way with any other specialty store. That's exactly what's happening, is, like, it's just like I mentioned earlier, like, I think it's with Amazon Prime, you get, like, whatever 20 or 30% discount on new games when they come out if you pre-order them.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Like, they're losing money so that they can run other businesses out of town.
Yeah. And they can ultimately control the profits.
Yeah. But I, like, saw this thread of just this bookstore, like, trying to explain this to, like, their customer base in general, where it's like, we're not going to tell you that you have to shop here.
Yeah.
We want you to understand why the prices are like this.
Yeah.
And because it's like, I get this all the time at work where people are, you know, I give them a book, they see how much it costs, and they're like, oh, but I can get it at thus and such price from Amazon. And I'm like, yeah?
You
know what you're not getting from Amazon? Me finding this book for you, putting it in your hands, giving you recommendations for a bunch of other books that now you're putting on your list because you want to read
Yeah.
them. Like, you don't get this atmosphere in this store. You don't get the cafe or any of this shit from
No.
Amazon. That's what you're paying for.
You don't get to talk to people who absolutely love this.
Also, it's such a fucking, like, people don't do it on purpose, but it's such a fucking slap in the face when you, like, are helping them and you spend a lot of time with this customer and then they're like, oh, I'm just gonna get it on Amazon.
Yeah. It's
And
like,
you're
I
like,
just
okay,
tried
fuck me,
so
I guess.
hard. And, like, I'm continually trying so hard to just, like, keep this alive.
Yeah.
And you're just blatantly shoving it in my face that you don't care.
Or we, like, constantly, like, if we don't have something in, you know, we can order it for you.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, there's so many options that we, like, you don't have to do any of the work. Like, you literally just have to tell me your fucking name and your phone number, and I do all of the work, the input for you, and then send it to your house.
Yeah.
Or whatever, wherever you want to send it. But, and, like, you offer to do that, and they're like, no, I'll just do it on Amazon. And it's like, thanks, I did all this work for you and found this shit for you, and then you're just gonna tell me to fuck off. I'm gonna go spend my money somewhere else.
Yeah. That's
Or, like,
so
people
shitty.
will come in and, like, shop in the store, but then they don't buy stuff because they want to they want to be able to browse,
But they
don't want to pay for that.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not going to be able to do this anymore if you stop shopping, or if you don't, like, actually pay for the shit here. If you, like, come in and you put everything on your list in your Amazon cart and order it on Amazon while you're in my store, fuck you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fuck Amazon.
But yeah, just, like, I saw that post and then a bunch of people in the comments being like, well, then your store shouldn't fucking exist, blah, blah, blah. Like, who's gonna, like, why should I pay more to go to your store just for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
this is why.
not understand, like, the impact that mom and pop shops have on your community.
Right?
Because, like, if
They
you
build
don't
a
have
rapport.
those stores, your, like, bookstores or whatever it is, if you don't have local shops, even Walmart and Target are also a problem for, like, they do the same shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have those local stores that are owned by your community's fucking poor.
Your community suffers.
Your community is not making any money. You don't have any revenue for your city.
Yeah.
Like, because none of it's all going elsewhere. I don't think you understand the economic impact of only shopping from Amazon and Walmart and shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, and like I've said, I fucking love Target, but there's part of that problem too.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was supposed to be a fun podcast, and then we just ranted. Hope you all enjoyed it. It's fucking midnight. I need to go to bed. I'm salty. Goodbye.